Hey, what's going on, Dodgers Nation? Doug McCain here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For up-to-the-minute Dodgers news, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. On a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a loss is Max Muncy? And then 2, who do you want to see at first base? Do you want to see Cody Bellinger, Matt Beaty, or Albert Pujols? And who should start on Wednesday in the wild card game versus Adam Wainwright and the St. Louis Cardinals? I want your takes down below in the comment section. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. Today we're going to talk about the big story from yesterday, which was the Dodgers losing Max Muncy.
No! No! God!
No! God, no!
Max Muncy is going to be out for the wild card game and possibly the NLDS and possibly the remainder of the postseason. Muncy suffered the injury in the third inning as Brewers infielder Jayce Peterson was trying to leg out a little infield nubber, and Will Smith's throw goes inside the line, and Jayce Peterson's also inside the line. He collides with Muncy's elbow, and Max Muncy was in some maximum pain. Now, was this a dirty play by Peterson? Well, he hits that tapper, and the throw by Will Smith puts Muncy in that position, but Peterson, he goes out of the baseline at the very last second, makes the contact. If it wasn't dirty, it was definitely reckless, and I think it was somewhat questionable there. And what makes this even worse is that if this had been the next inning, Max Muncy might have not even been in the game because the Giants, they were blowing things wide open. They were just boat racing, curb stomping the prideless Padres up in San Francisco. And you know the Dodgers were scoreboard watching. You saw Buehler, he left the game. Seager left the game. You had a lot of mass substitutions in that one once they realized that the Giants were going to win the division. So had this happened later in the game, he wouldn't even have been at first base. So that's what makes this even more unfortunate. And yes, the D in Dodgers definitely stands for depth, but losing Max Muncy is going to be a huge blow. Muncy had an .895 OPS on the year. That was second on the team. 36 home runs. That was first. 94 RBIs. That was also first. 83 walks. That was also the team lead. And another reason why this Muncy injury is so painful is that he was really starting to heat up. Over the last week, he was slashing .294, .429, .529 with his .958 OPS, a home run, and a double. And after the second half that he's had, where he's had a lot of ups and downs, to see him get going at the right time was going to be big. And then also, if the Dodgers are to advance and beat the St. Louis Cardinals in the wild card game, he has been an absolute giant killer. This year against the Giants, he has 8 home runs and 1,056 OPS. So losing Muncy, a guy who owns San Francisco, is going to be massive. So Max Muncy has been the Dodgers' most prolific slugger this year. He has prodigious power, and he's also a big postseason player. When he comes alive in October, he can get you big hits and big bombs and big spots. So yes, the Dodgers do have guys that can fill in, but the reality is they're losing their biggest slugger at the beginning of the postseason, and that's never good. And I'm going to tell you who should be at first base and give you their options in just a second. But first, Dave Roberts gave us an update on Max Muncy's injury and if he thinks he'll be able to be back at any point this postseason.
Right now, there was some testing, but it's still sort of unclear, what it means, really. I think that it's still painful. I just don't want to, we don't want to close the door on a potential down the road postseason appearance.
It doesn't sound good. It didn't look good. And the fact that Max Muncy, a guy who's tougher than a $2 steak, is on the ground writhing in pain, you know that was painful. And it's just a rough weekend for the Dodgers. They lose Kershaw on Friday, and then on Sunday, you lose Max Muncy. But the good thing is they do have some options. Now, the first option is Theo Albert at first base. Now, he came in and he replaced Muncy. The question for him is, do you really want to start him against right-handed pitching? Because this year, year against righties. The machine has a 180 batting average, a 233 on base percentage. He's slugging 266 with a 500 OPS and 4 home runs. Now, against lefties, he has a 939 OPS, and he's done very well. Now, defensively, he can still get the job done. Max Muncy was really having a breakthrough year defensively, so you are going to miss that. Now, the second option is a left-handed bat, and that is Matt Beaty. Now, the hitman, he had a great finish to his season yesterday. He goes 3 for 3, had a home run, had his first home run against a lefty in 56 at-bats, and so far this year against right-handed pitching, he's slashing 261, 358, 391 with a 750 OPS. And also, check this out, against lefties this year, only 22 plate appearances, but he has a 909 OPS with 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Now, defensively, he's an average to below average defender. There's no question about that. But if you're going to have Matt Beaty on the diamond with the glove, first base is where he's most comfortable. It's not the outfield, where he's not the most natural outfielder. Third base, he can kind of get it done. But if you're going to have him on the field, first base is where you want to see him. And then option number 3 is Cody Bellinger. Yes, Cody Bellinger. He was at one point, everyone thought he was going to be one of the best defensive first basemen in the league. We know he can get it done with the glove at first, but for Cody Bellinger, it's just what he can do with the stick, because we know the year he's had. His batting average is up from 159 to 165. He's 4 for his last 13. He had a home run in the Dodgers 1+4 comeback win against the Padres last week. And if you look at his numbers, righties versus lefties, versus righties, he's slashing 183, 252, 349 with a 601 OPS compared to versus lefties, where he has a 383 OPS. Now, his strikeout rate is still high against right-handed pitching, but he does look much better at the plate. He's got a better rhythm. You see the way his stance is, the way his hands are a little lower. You see his bat path staying through the zone more, and it's helping him make contact better than he was. And that is definitely an improvement. And defensively, he's proven that he can be an above-average first baseman. Now, I know he had that overthrow early in the year against the San Francisco Giants that really cost the Dodgers a chance to win that game, but still, Cody Bellinger can get it done at first base. And if you have Bellinger at first, you can have Gavin Lux in center field or Chris Taylor in center field. So you can add another righty bat or a lefty bat in center, and that is if you trust Gavin Lux and Chris Taylor to hold it down in center field over Cody Bellinger. And to me, at this point, Gavin Lux, he's shown so much improvement in center, but he injured himself the other day. He actually injured Cody Bellinger, and he fractured his rib when they collided in the outfield a few weeks ago against the Diamondbacks. But when it comes to Gavin Lux, I'd be willing to sacrifice some in center field if he continues to hit like he has been since he's been called up. Now, since he was called up on September 10th, Gavin Lux is slashing 360, 467, 500 with a 967 OPS. He has 1 home run, a triple, and 2 doubles. And also what you could do is if you have Gavin Lux in the lineup, you might consider having him higher so you can have some more lefties higher in the order. So maybe you put Corey Seager in the cleanup spot and Gavin Lux in the 2-hole. Although I do like the way this lineup is going, I wouldn't mess with the top 3 spots with Mookie and Seager and Trey Turner because they have been on fire of late. They are just absolutely clicking. They're firing on all cylinders, like I said. So I don't know if you want to mess with that, but it would provide you some options if you're trying to get some more lefties higher in that order, because that's what you lose in Max Muncy. Now, of those 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals, Wainwright, he's a right-handed pitcher. I think if Bellinger is ready to go, I think that you trust him in that spot. But I think the way Albert Pujols has been playing of late, I think that against the Cardinals, maybe that's why he ended up on the Dodgers in the first place, to play first base against his former team, the St. Louis Cardinals, in the wild card game. Look, I promised you he'd have some big moments this year. He has. Well, will he have those big moments in the postseason? Because that would be massive. Will he be a David Freese type, a guy that can come in and get you clutch hits? Or is he going to actually start at first base and get you some clutch knocks there? So we know that Wainwright and Pujols, they're really good friends. So that would be a very intriguing storyline. And you also trust him in the postseason. So I wouldn't have an issue with Pujols based on his experience and just the fact that, look, this guy understands what it means to play in October. He has a history of getting big hits and performing big on the big stage. So there's that. But when it comes to who I think can give the Dodgers the the best chance to just get hits per at-bat against Wainwright, I think Matt Beaty would be that guy. And if you look at Waino's splits this year, righties are slashing 209, 264, 332 with a 596 OPS, and lefties are slashing 229, 285, 370 with a 655 OPS. So not a huge difference. 11 home runs from right-handed batters, 10 home runs from lefties. So it does feel like I think Dave Roberts might go the Albert Pujols route. You know how he feels about the machine. I could see him getting the start, and I think you'd probably keep Cody Bellinger in center field if Gavin Lux isn't ready to go. It'd be a tough game to come back in if you're Gavin Lux, having him start in center. So I do think they're either going to go with Cody Bellinger or Chris Taylor in center field, but I think it will be Belly, a lefty, against Adam Wainwright. But if it were me and I was making the lineup, I think it's a pretty easy call for Wednesday's game. I think you go with Matt Beaty, especially when you consider how he finished the season and also how poorly Pujols has been against right-handed pitching. I think you go with Matt Beaty. I think you form a little super platoon there at first base with Beaty and Pujols, and I think that's the move. I think Beaty's earned that spot. You saw they bat him fifth in Game 5 of the NLDS a few years ago, so he has been in big games, and I think that would be the move, and then we'll see. You can use Pujols as a pinch hitter later in the game. But let me know down below in the comment section. I want all your takes on this one. Who should start at first base for the Dodgers? Should it be Albert Pujols? Should it be Matt Beaty? Should it be Cody Bellinger? But I do think moving forward that if Max Muncy has to miss an extended period of time or the entire postseason, they're just going to play those matchups in their favor. That's what they're likely to do. So I think you'll see a rotation at first base at the end of the day. But let me know down below in the comment section who should be playing first base in Max Muncy's absence, and how do you want to see the lineup look 1 through 8 with the starting pitcher? Let me know down below in the comment section. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. That's at DMac_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. For all latest Dodgers Nation merch, head over to gearup.la. Some of the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game. You're going to find it right over there at www.gearup.la. Don't forget to download the Dodgers Nation app for my Android and iPhone users. For latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.